something that you said earlier got me interested when you were talking about collectors. You said something like there's 4 different types, or you hadn't. Can you explain a bit about that? That's interesting.
Going back to what I said, there's ones who collect because they've got nothing else better to do, and they collect as a real obsession. I don't know if they enjoy it or not, but it's like they just want to collect it over and over. I remember a fella who lived with his mother till she died. All he did was collect the age.
Must have filled up the house pretty quick, you'd think.
When his mother passed away, the whole house became full of the age paper everywhere, virtually. Right, you can see brown.
This is before digital.
Yeah, story. I don't know if you would have appreciated, but talk about. Then you got the other collector who collects for monetary gain, anything, books, antiques, to make a profit. Keep it in hiding, then get it released when people want it, then have it for sale and charge a fortune. Then there's the other collector who collects. He tries to appreciate it, he wants to appreciate it, but really doesn't have a passion for it. He just wants to have it to be noticed.
Like a fashion label or something like that?
Yeah, it's like one of the most pitiful way of collecting.
Have you met people like that?
Yeah, heaps.
Was there number 4?
Well,
genuine collector.
And that's what you describe yourself as, perhaps?
And other
so
people.
you're not in it for the money, you just want it for the thing, you can't help it.
Yep.
I hope I do. I mean, stuff I've got, I just can't help it.
Yeah, I can't help it because I actually enjoy it.
I have to be honest and say when I got this job at the record shop, I thought I'd meet girls, or at the very least, some like-minded people. But as the months passed, I realised the job, the staff, and the customers were very different from what I expected. And they weren't just a little bit different. To me, they seemed to have arrived from another planet.
Clave, when it translates password. 3x2. 2x3.
Different.
Syncopa. Together, just. Ahí está la síncopa. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 3,
I knew my manager had made a film about his band, Waxing the Sun, and one weekend I asked him to help me make a film about record collectors. He agreed, and said he'd show me his collection, which I'd looked forward to seeing for so long. To my surprise, Adrian warmed to the idea of the film so much that he started philosophising about the type of people who came into the shop and the type of person he saw himself to be. This was an eye-opening experience. I couldn't help but see that Adrian was becoming more and more like some of our more dedicated customers. I've been working in the shop for nearly 2 years now, and I'm seriously wondering if this will happen to me too. All the men, and they're all men, who have dedicated their lives to collecting, live a monkish life. Adrian's just broken up with his girlfriend over an argument about how many boxes of stuff he had. he wasn't prepared to get rid of them. Since this, he's moved out of the flat he shared with his girlfriend and back to his parents' house.
Calm yourself down. Hey!
G'day!
The cameraman arrived. Come in.
Thank you.
So, Alice, get you.
This is Alice.
Yep, Alice, dog. For the records, for the stuff. Well, I guess if you're making the film, you've come straight to
I'm really
check
excited.
it out.
It's okay if I film.
Yeah, no, it's alright. Just some stuff, I don't know if I want you filming it, but most of it, because if people come and they see this film, they'll know where
Yeah, I understand that. Sure.
So,
It's in here.
Anyway, because of what's happened with Sarah and how I've moved out, I've had to, I'm back at my parents', so it's obviously in boxes.
Boxes.
Just saying, normally it isn't like this. But this is one room in here. Got the boxes.
I see what you mean.
All full of stuff down there, all bits and pieces. Sarah said I had too many, but well, in our flat there are probably more boxes, but and in here we've got a few more. My parents have let me have 2 rooms to put the stuff.
Is that enough?
Well, not really. No, I've had to put it under the house in the garage. I can show
under
you that.
the house.
Show you that later. But got stuff up here. Got collectibles up here. This one in particular is like it's something like they put under the sea. You know how people put things at the bottom of the ocean.
Like a time
treasure
cap.
chest. Yeah.
Oh.
This is a collection of my favourites, sealed in cardboard. Goes up there, highest point. Can't
Just
be
to
touched.
stop thieves from getting up there?
No one's going to look. A thief wouldn't look at that, would he?
No.
He's going to think, just a cardboard box. Nothing.
Sure.
So you got a trick.
And what's in it?
Can't even tell you that.
Oh.
Can't even tell you that. The whole point is it doesn't. Let's move away from that altogether. I said I'd show you stuff. I'm not going to tell you everything.
Okay.
I don't know if he knows where the other stuff is. He does have quite a lot of stuff in the other room, as you've no doubt seen.
When
Is
he
that the
moved
sort
in,
of-
were you expecting...
I wasn't expecting quite so much. He did say he had a lot of things, but he came from a very small place where he lived. So I thought there'd just be the odd box.
And did you know what Sarah had said about there being boxes and
bags
boxes
and bags?
Yeah, so you understand how she feels a bit now.
I do understand, absolutely. Yes, I do. No, it's his hard. He did hide it away quite well, I thought. But here it doesn't seem to be quite so well hidden, but it's nice if you can lay your hands on it whenever you want to.
Yes. Yeah.
So
do you ever go into your garage or?
I try not to.
Yeah.
I try not to go into those back 2 rooms, but we've got guests coming, so could be a problem.
This is my mum's study, so I had a bit of, she wasn't so keen, but did manage to get the pride of place up here. Top spot, if you think about it. Why do you reckon that's the best spot?
Well, it looks very secure, I guess.
It's flood.
Flood.
If the house floods, right, water's going to come up here, possibly up here, the biggest flood would be here, or maybe there, Anyway, it's not going to get up there. So this is totally flood proof, and all the best collectibles go up there. I can seal them up like this one.
What's that there?
Ringo Starr. This is 1981. You heard that one?
Stop and smell the roses.
Stop and smell the roses.
No. Is that
yep.
just after he left the Beatles?
No, it's many years later. But and this is from your neck of the woods, the old King. You remember King?
No.
That was my heart yearns for now.
It's not
love
ringing.
and pride. Big in the 80s. Probably this is why you're picking stuff up. I've been called a collector. I've worked in a record shop for most of my adult life, so there's really no big surprise there.
I don't know.
If you were to grade me as a collector, I'm not in the same league as some of the greats, that we're going to meet. I guess I'm a few sandwiches and a mixed salad short of being a complete collector. And Joe, who's my protege, who works in the record shop under me, he's still learning the ropes, and he's a few sandwiches, a mixed salad, and possibly a slice of cake short of a full collector's picnic basket. I mean, basically it was Joe, my protege, who got me interested in making this film. And, you know, as he's been overwhelmed by the type of customers that we get. I think he's just amazed at how intense and how sophisticated they are. And I think this is, you know, a common misconception by the outside world or people in the street that this is a kind of easy job or even an adolescent job. But any job that requires you to understand a different language, which is the way that these collectors speak, you know, that's a sophisticated job.
Elvis gets sprung because he gets to have a little, you know, sweet talk with the nurse. A little bit of banter. Then they're walking at night, and then the kid comes up. Kurt Russell, I got the kid. Yeah. Goes, hey, mister, can I have another dime for another kick? How about the other leg? And that's sprung. Elvis got sprung.
Kiss Nice DC, equal.
Kiss and ACDC
First,
equal.
yeah, they were favorite bands. With makeup Kiss and non-makeup ACDC.
Oh, you don't like
Then
that.
second,
ACDC, they never wore makeup.
no, I'm saying,
the outfit.
for makeup is my favourite. The band I'm favourite, I know trying not to pick away them up always. One minute I hit DC, I like DC, but then I hit Kiss. I go, Kiss is a bit slow, but then on DC, it's okay. Make it fair, equal. For makeup band, my best Kiss, and for non-makeup, DC.
I wasn't getting autographs in the 70s. I just didn't have the idea of it till 83.
This is something that's evolved later in your life.
Yeah, from about 83 when Simon Garfunkel came.
So they were the first.
Yeah, they were the first I ever met.
Did you get them both?
Yeah, in the Regency. And now they're very difficult. Neither of them signed much, but 83, they were in good mood, and I was the only one there again, and got to be on your own. That's what I do.
Yeah. So if you're going to a big group.
Even two people. But for one person, they reward you for your diligence if you're on your own.
I really associate with the independent man, the self-made independent person.
So for you, collecting started with comics?
Comics.
That's the way in.
Yeah, because any kid alone, most real collectors and who really enjoy have a passion for something that, as a child, I had a speech impediment. As a kid, was overly mentally questioned a lot to older people who cannot answer questions, so I was sort of ostracised. We're talking about the 60s now.
Yeah, different culture and time.
Yeah, and like even religion, and that made me think this boy is not a good boy, you know, whatever. From my perspective at that age. So the only thing I had that really as a feel good was the cinema and comics and
would you spend a lot of money on that, do you think? Or
yeah, all my
you're a kid, you probably didn't have too much.
Yeah, all my pocket money, like it was cheap, things like the cinema, like it was at the cinema at Saturday would be 2 and 6, which is about 25 cents now.
And you've still got all of the comics?
Yeah.
They're all in your house?
Yeah. I got my mother now respects my property, she has to.
But it was a problem when you lived at home? Or?
Oh yeah. My mother said, what do you do with all your money? You're wasted on these silly childish things. You're a grown man. This is when I was 19. Grown man. That means I can bring a woman home. What do you mean by grown man?
I really think that you can say that collectors are not of this world. They are intense. I guess they're intense like Jesus. Although everyone is intense in their own way, just like in the real world, some people are so intense that once they start speaking, they really cannot stop. And yet there are others of our collecting customers who are so intense within themselves that they find it impossible to speak. Well, or at least make any sense.
And every nothing missing with that.
Warren, cherry pie.
Cherry pie's not bad.
Not bad.
They haven't got many good songs, that's the thing.
No.
Only cherry pie and a few others, not many. They haven't
Just
got
pie,
much.
yeah.
They haven't got much classics. Not much stands out. Not enough.
I've always been into bands that are a little off-centre, or a little harder to find than what you hear on mainstream radio. And my new manager Adrian seemed like he would have a lot to teach me. I was keen to see his incredible collection of rare records and CDs, as he'd been working at the same record store for 12 years, He told me he'd been collecting well before this as well.
Another one, Kids in the Kitchen. No?
Australian?
Australian again.
Oh.
We really need to go through this at work, but anyway, so this is just, you know, it's the height. It's all... look at that. Looks like it's straight from the shop, doesn't it?
Billy
straight
Ocean.
from the shop.
It's
Billy, that is pristine. And that would be definitely 20 years old.
What else you got up there?
More Billy O. This one's got Caribbean Queen on it, you know.
No.
You know, Caribbean Queen. We've got some work to do.
So have you got something like a Doors album or Velvet Underground, American pressing? You know, original copies, that sort of thing.
Well, this is an original.
Madonna.
Madonna, I don't. Well, it was original when I bought it. I was, you know, I don't know how original you want.
Does it look like good stuff?
They're pretty old, so.
No. And how do you tell what it is that you're after?
Oh, it's mostly got to have remixes. Or depends what the music, you know.
Yeah.
I'll have a look at that.
And it's just dance stuff that you like, or
Not
all.
Not all the time. Depends on the music, how it sounds.
Just that one then.
Yeah, I'll just try that.
What have you got there? Oh, Rage Against the Machine. Rage Against the Machine.
Yeah.
So that's not dance, is it?
No, it's sort of rock music.
Yeah, I think it's got a bit of a kick to it. Oh well. What's the worst reaction you've had? I think you mentioned something about Jeff Beck.
Yeah.
It's he because
you like the early Rod Stewart, Jeff Beck.
I love the Yardbirds.
Yeah.
So I found out where he lived and walked up his driveway.
This is Jeff Beck.
Jeff Beck.
Yeah.
He lives in this big gothic wooden mansion, and there's a barn opposite, and they both look the same. And I didn't know which was the house and which was his barn. So rather than knock on the door, one of his American cars was up on a hoist, and the light was on in the workshop and the radio was playing. So I thought, he's just gone for a cup of tea. But he's got so much money, he probably leaves the light and the radio on all 12 months of the year. So I'm standing by the car and he sees me out of one of the windows. He comes out the front door and gets in one of his 20 cars and drives over to where I was standing. And it's just, get off my property, screaming.
This is in the morning or day or night?
About 11 o'clock.
Oh, yeah.
I've learned over the years you never go around there before midday. You know, they like to sleep in whether they do or not, you know.
Yeah, give them back.
That was about lunchtime. Nice sunny day. And I was so shocked and angered by his screaming at me. I said, well, sign the bloody thing, I will get off your property, which is probably not a smart thing to say.
Well, at least he knows why you're there.
Yeah.
If you say that, then rather than he might think it's up there for other reasons. So this is Jeff Beck,
Yeah, stood in the lane that leads up to his property.
So after he'd ejected you from his property, you went back?
2 days later I went back again, but didn't step on his property. I just stood in the lane that leads off the main road that goes up to his front gates. And it was just prior to Christmas, and his 6th wife was driving up the lane with a car loaded full of Christmas presents.
Yeah.
So she saw me there, drove up to the house, and obviously told him that I'd come back again. He comes down in a mini miner this time, yelling and screaming once again.
So he doesn't send one of his bodyguards or anything?
No, I don't think he has.
You don't think
he said you have to upgrade the security. I don't think he's got any security. In fact, I don't think anyone's walked up his driveway ever before.
You may be the first. Something that came out of talking to Adrian was that he felt some sort of sense of shame, maybe when people seeing the collection, you know, like his girlfriend didn't really, she didn't really like the collection. Do you ever feel that about, you know, you've got so much stuff, or?
My first wife was like that. She tried to destroy, she got all my comics, the ones that she can get on her hands on, and put them in the bin.
Wow, that must have been hard for you.
Oh yeah, I got them out.
Oh, did it take you long?
The truck.
Oh.
And the guys, hey, Paul Budden, they started, they helped me retrieve them.
So there's
a couple of them
compassion for a collector.
Yeah, those guys, you know, they're big kids, like boys with toys, which collecting is like, you know, big kids. I'm a big kid. I don't think I'm 14 really.
Always the magazines, Koran and in middle, always first Eddie Van Halen.
Oh,
Eddie Van Halen. The top 10 Eddie Van Halen.
Satriani?
Yeah, and then top 3, 4, but Eddie Van Halen's always first or second always.
Stevie Vai.
Voted always, and that's middle.
Stevie Ray Vaughan.
That's middle circus magazines and middle magazines always in the 80s and news agents. When I got school days, Eddie Van Halen always. Get the cake.
He's pretty good.
He's got nice, like that licks.
Not everyone is cut out to do this line of work. You don't get special training, but you have to deal with special people. These people are highly complex, highly motivated and completely unique. And this is their environment. And you do have to have a fine sensibility to deal with them. They are rare birds. Some come every week at the same time and stay for around the same period of time, sometimes up to 4 or 5 hours. But there is an art to it, you know. Some like to settle in first, you know, to familiarise themselves with the shelves and to orientate themselves to get their bearings. You have to allow for this. It's no use jumping into a conversation. But once they feel comfortable, they open up their mouths and they really start to sing. This is their place. Our record shop is their habitat. I work here, but they live here.
Yeah, he met Elvis.
Oh, he met Elvis?
Yeah, and that was a big deal.
Yeah, no, it's a big deal. You never met Elvis, did you?
No, I got the ticket. He's a trainer, son.
So you grew a beard for that?
I grew a goatee beard.
Now that was so he wouldn't recognise you?
Yes.
Right, okay.
Yes.
Okay, so you could just do it again and you wouldn't remember?
Well, hopefully. But people tend to remember me for one reason or another. The reason why I go to Adelaide is there's only 2 hotels there. It's quite easy to find them. I was sitting in the lobby of the Grand Hyatt and for about an hour, and I was starting to attract a bit of attention. The porters were saying, the guy's been here an hour. And so I went over to the buffet and said, how much is your buffet? He said, $50. $50, okay. So I'm starting in the buffet about 2:30, and I was about to close. And I was a bit nervous, and all of a sudden I'm just cracking some prawns, and Jeff Beck comes down in the lift with his minder, and rather than go out the front door, he went out the back to sun himself in the back patio, which I've never seen before. And I'm just a bundle of nerves. I thought, what do I do? Do I put a cap on and go out another door? And he walked across the lobby and he gave me this quizzical look like, I kind of know you from somewhere.
Yeah. So you reckon he spotted you? Not sure.
I think he knew who I was. And the buffet's about to close, and there was a guy about my age serving himself some sweets. So I went over to him with Yardbird's album, and I said, "Look, excuse me, sir, could you go out in the patio and ask Jeff Beck to sign my album? I've met the rest of them." He said, "Well, why can't you do it?" And I said, "Well, there was a bit of an incident on his property 3 years ago, and called the police, who agreed with me." So he said, just a minute, we're having lunch. I said, "Fair enough, take your time." He said, "I'll tell my daughter to do it, so we'll come over in a couple of minutes." So 10 minutes had gone by, and it was really hot, and I'm worried that Jeff Beck could go up into his room, you see.
But you can't hurry up the people.
Exactly.
So
can't hurry them up.
Yeah.
I can't do it either. So I started pacing up and down, and then the camera came around, and the daughter says, I'd rather, if I have to do this, I'd rather do it on a piece of paper, because if I go out with your Yardbirds album, it looks like I'm stalking him. I said, well, fair enough, but the other 3 have signed it. She said, all right. I said, all you have to do is say, excuse me, Mr. Beck, could you sign it with us here? Oh, okay then. So she went out on the patio, and he looked up and gave her a weak smile, and no problems. Signed it perfectly.
So you got it.
And she brought it back in, and she was beside herself.
Yeah.
That she'd helped me out because she was nervous, and then she met someone famous.
Yeah.
So I tried to go and buy flowers, but the florist was shut. This is Adelaide, and Offered them buy drinks, and we don't drink.
Yeah.
So with that, went back to my hotel and shaved my beard off, and
Job done.
Job done.
That's
You like Metallica?
Yeah.
Which ones?
Oh, what?
Enter
The Black
Sandman?
album, Enter Sandman.
Black album?
Yeah.
I've got the new one.
Kill 'em all.
Oh, the new one, Death of Fanatic.
Yeah.
And
What's
I've
that like?
got
Some people reckon it's
St.
good.
Anger.
So, I heard 1% it's good, 1% nah, touch and go, average.
Depends on your like how you
Yeah,
like drums.
do you like it?
The
I
drums.
like it. I like Chinese democracy.
No, no, you're the first person. Not many people like that one.
No, he's on his own.
Do you like it?
No.
You heard it?
I like Death Magnetic.
Yeah, I played it to him.
Yeah, I like Tony Bossy.
It's,
Out of the question.
It's more
Yeah,
like an
he's on
Elton John.
democracy.
It's Elton John.
Yeah, I like Tony Bossy. You brush it on the
Can't
side.
be
Huh?
honest. Do you like
You
it?
brush it on the side, huh?
Second half is good. Second half.
What do you mean, second side?
Yeah.
What? Is it good?
Yeah.
The first side. The first side.
Yeah.
First side's a bit, yeah.
Yeah, which is tough because you got to get through the early tracks to appreciate it.
Working in a record shop is like being on a raft in the high seas. The counter is the raft, and the turbid waters are the customers cresting and breaking in one never-ending movement. As soon as you're free of one difficult and pleonastic spray from a customer, another wave breaks and gushes onto you before you can catch a full breath. And it is only on a rare occasion that there will be a straightforward transaction. 9 times out of 10, you have to feel in the dark to ascertain exactly what a customer or a collector wants. I think it is a real gift, and I guess I have that gift.
Yeah. If we do. A man with some. G'day, mate. How are you?
He was a character, wasn't he?
He was a bit of a character, yeah.
Haven't you seen him before?
No.
No. I didn't think.
I think he's from Colombia. Yeah. Have you been to Colombia?
No.
No. Maybe they're all like
I
so
thought.
passionate.
I thought in 5 hours' time he might stop talking.
Yeah.
How good is he?
No, I didn't, because I couldn't find that one.
Are you after something in particular?
No, just look at what this is.
Yeah.
I was in one of the stores and they had the CD thing where you can tune in.
Yeah, we've got one. This silver thing here. See?
Oh, so if you think you might like a CD,
You find a
you pop it in
CD,
there.
we'll put it on for you and you can have a listen.
Thank you. Yeah, you got one of them at Fitzroy, I've seen them.
Yeah, you've been up there, huh?
Yeah.
Do you get around to most of our stores?
I get around.
Do you like the Beach Boys?
How did you know?
I just thought because I get around.
How did you know?
I get around.
I came in here and I looked at the Beach Boys. I says, I'm going to take that with me.
Oh.
How did you know that?
Oh, just
You
a guess.
fluked it.
Just a guess. A fluke.
He fluked it.
I must admit, I really wanted to dig deeper with our most regular and hardcore customer, that is Andrew. And I think we've done this. And I don't think it's too much of a leap to make an analogy that Joe, in filming these customers, is like Marlowe going up the Congo River in Heart of Darkness, Joseph Conrad's Heart of Darkness. And at each post, we've met a collector of varying degrees of intensity. And then finally at the end, in the depths of the African jungle, we've come across Andrew, who is the apex, the zenith of collectors.
I'm collecting scripts at the moment, boys.
Oh.
I got the signed script from the last episode of Stargate, signed by all the cast members of the show.
Wow.
So, yeah, I like, you know, it's actually scripts. I can see why they are.
So that they have to post that out to you?
Yeah,
Bit
yeah.
of trust,
Yep.
little can.
So if you're at home now, how do you protect your collectibles?
Just hope for the best and hope they don't have the knowledge. They're morons. They just want quick stuff.
That's
Quick
it. So
snatch
you
and
haven't got
grab.
a safe or...
I got a safe.
Oh,
Yeah.
that's good.
Yeah. To have a firearm license, you got to have a specially designed safe with hand firearms. It's very, and they have to check it. The federal police now. Andy has to be. They're very strict, extremely. Your place has to be like a fortress. I had a nice firearm collection. I like collecting muskets.
So you got all this at your house? We were talking about that, but you got a big room or basement full of stuff.
Yeah.
Doesn't distract from your partner, or you're on your own, got your own stash. I've just moved out with my girlfriend.
Yeah.
Because I had too many boxes. She wasn't happy with it started overtaking the whole flat.
Well, if you have a record collection, it's good not to move house too often.
Yeah, that's true.
You don't want to do that, mate. You know, buy a house or leave it at your grandparents, or leave it with your nana who never goes out. She'll sit on it and look after it all day, you know.
So I thought, well, if it was Van Morrison, I'll walk up to where there's a fork in the road in case they bring him round the back and through the kitchen, which is they often do.
Yeah.
So I sat at the fork in the road, beautiful sunny afternoon under a tree, and about an hour later, a grey limo comes back. Morrison had been to his sound check at the castle, you see. Oh. And I see him, he's sitting in the back seat reading the
Financial
newspapers.
Times? No, whatever he reads,
The Sun.
So the car goes down the hill to the front door, and I'm running like crazy down the hill, because normally they just step out of the Tarago and straight in. But no, Morrison has a driver with a tie on who walks around the back and opens it. Yes, I've never seen that before. Opens the door for him, which was perfect because I'm running down the hill, you see.
Oh, I gave you some extra time.
Yes, Morrison.
So you could see this. You were running down and you could see this.
I could see Morrison
unfolding, the doors opening.
And the two heavies got out of the car with him, and the three of them are about to go in the automatic doors. And by this stage, I'm just at the back of the car, and in a loud voice, I heard, "Mr. Morrison," and he sort of turns around and scowls at me. And I said, "I've just been round to Alan Henderson's place in Minnesota."
That was your opening line.
Yeah, and he nearly collapsed. He hadn't spoken to him for 10 years, and the two bodyguards, they were in shock as well because they knew who he was. So Morrison stood there and he said, "Is Henderson still involved in music?" And to get his attention even further, I said, "No, he's a tycoon." He goes, "He's a what?" And I explained he's got this biggest cladding business in America. And with that, I showed him my albums. And
oh, you had them with you?
Yeah, I had my albums, and a pen. And I explained which members of them had passed away and who was still alive.
So he didn't know?
He did know. He did know that.
You showed him that you knew.
I explained where they all were and what they were doing, and showed him all my autographs. And he looked at the two albums and he said to me, "Would you like me to sign your records for you?"
He asked you.
He asked me.
Oh, wow.
Oh, what nice.
He must have been in a good mood because he's not known to...
No.
Well, you must have been the way you approached him.
Well, I think he liked the fact that I'd gone to all this trouble. And
was he eating or anything? Or
no, he was sweating, and he had to roll up newspapers under his arm, and he's dressed up like an old gypsy.
Oh, really?
Very fat because
he's big, man.
Drinks a lot of beer.
Yeah.
I think you said maybe you've got a brother. Is that right?
Yeah.
How does he go? Is he a collector too, or there's not a similarity?
Nah. He collects his ego.
Ah, a different kind of collection.
Yeah, narcissistic, extremely. My younger brother loves women and romantic, but he collects porn.
Ah.
He's obsessed with porn.
That's a different kind of collection.
Yeah, he loves porn, and I can't handle it. Every time I go and fix his computer.
So has he ever tried to show you or get you into it?
He puts it on to shock me because he knows I can't handle it.
Oh.
Too much. I like
subtlety or
swimsuit competitions, lingerie festivals, that sort of thing. They used to have them here. No, they don't.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're fun. Because it's the tease, not the actual.
No.
Well, you come here much this weekend?
Yeah, we
work here
weekends,
on the weekends, yeah.
11 years I've been here. 11 years.
Yeah, I think I've seen you before.
Yeah.
That's the original one.
You like the original?
That's why I looked at the numbers. That's original.
Rare,
that's what I looked at it for.
So
it's
you
original.
don't like the digital mastering?
Nah, I prefer original. To tell you the truth.
Yeah, like Led Zeppelin fans.
I think
They compress the sound.
No, I think I might be wrong. My opinion. Digital's more for techno. Boom, boom, boom. That shit.
Yeah.
People play the cards in the sports cars. The two-door sports cars. Boom, boom.
Yeah.
I think digital's more for 2000.
Yeah.
For millennium, but 80 moves to 70s like Deep Purple, Led Zeppelin, DC. Man, I think more analog. I think more original's better.
So you want another copy of that?
Yeah, I'm not so good. I think original.
So ideally, you want them all.
I think I want them all. Yeah.
You went up to Queensland.
Yeah, my parents were dying in a very frail in a nursing home.
Okay.
So I worked out when Dylan was going to be in Cairns. There would be another trip to see my folks.
Yeah.
And waited in the airport all day. I thought he's got to fly in from Sydney.
That was in the 90s, or
about 5 years ago. And he just won a Grammy.
That's
the night
right.
before. I was very excitedly threw my cap in the air that Bob Dylan had won this Grammy. I thought, wow, I'm the only person here. If he comes in tonight, how happy is he going to be? And the last Ansett flight, about 11:20, doors opened up and I just said, congratulations, Mr. Dylan. And I showed him Blonde on Blonde. And
so he knew what you were talking about when you said congratulations?
Yeah. I assume he did. Yeah. And I showed him the album and he opened it up and folded that album. There's a beautiful woman inside and said, ooh, she was a good sort. And I was I've got him. I'll go for the pen. And he signs it big as this and he says, I hope you don't sell this in a hurry. Which is, I think what he says to everybody. And then I fainted in the flower pot. I flaked out. I was
in the flower pot?
Yeah, there's a flower pot outside. I just went, I got the album and
it was too much for you.
Yeah, it was. Actually, it was.
Because would he be one of your top people to get?
Yeah, to me it's the greatest moment of my life.
Really? So above Van?
Yeah.
Yeah, okay. Yeah.
Do you ever get to that feeling of, getting carried away by something? I suppose a film. Or music,
I do.
And you feel like a different person, I suppose.
I do. I do have a problem that now is diagnosed as obsessive compulsive disorder, which is only a new thing. Where when I was younger, they thought, look, teachers and say, look, write a note to my mother, better get him a bit of help upstairs. It didn't work because this made me have an inferiority complex.
Sure.
When you're a young person and you like what you're doing, you think you have especially when you get to your teens, and all of a sudden you've been told that, for being yourself. We're not talking about the 21st century now, where that's being taken to the virtually no sense of self, where everybody think there's no boundaries, yet there are boundaries. But when you're a young person and the whole sense of individualism, your own identity is the thing you search for, not to be accepted by other people, your own identity. Now collecting is something that you do that you enjoy, whatever it's stamps, or what, but there's only so much you can collect.
This is another storage in here. And more boxes once again.
So really everything is just all over, you don't know what you've got.
Since Sarah left me, it's pretty much, it's been tough. Bit of the old gin. Had a bit of that when she left. But basically, come in, have a look. She said, there's not enough. She said I had too much stuff, but
you don't feel that that's true?
There's a lot of boxes. I've got a lot of stuff, but well, there you go. There's more CDs. So, but it's just this stuff. You wouldn't get rid of this stuff. There you go. The old ocean sounds. If you want to. This would help Sarah. It helps anyone really.
You find it relaxing.
Listen to an hour of that. You'll forget about the boxes. But yeah, she's she did go on a bit. To be honest, she did go on a bit. She would She
just didn't understand it, I guess.
It was like a box isn't going to hurt anyone, is it? So
I guess not.
And you've been working in a record shop. You know how it is. Each one of these to me is gold.
You don't think that you can ever have enough, or?
Well, I've seen people who are a lot worse than me, and there's a problem there, and
they've got a problem, but you're okay.
No, they've got a problem, and obviously if I keep collecting, but basically I want to get a new place. Now I don't have Sarah, I can get a place, and I've got that spare room.
So now you don't have a relationship, you've got the room for your collection.
Well, not now, I'm at my parents', but when I move in, I'm looking at places, and there's, instead of that spare room for all that girly stuff, or an extra bed, I'm not going to have it in boxes either. I'm going to have it in, good shelves.
Good. Alphabetical order.
A to Z. You got your Adamant, your Akadaka, you finish up with Wham, and, all the good stuff. All the good stuff.
I had a funny feeling in my guts. My heart was sort of scared. Now, she used to do it a lot in winter, but I know she was out there with some guy, and that I didn't want to think about. I just wait for her, and I know if she's not at her folks' place, she's doing up to no good. But she, so what? As long as she doesn't get a disease, and I didn't like it. Yeah, and deep down I didn't like it. But what can I do? I don't own her. Love doesn't mean ownership.
Have you ever met a woman who's sort of shared this collection? You spoke about your wife who she didn't get it at all.
My second one did. She really.
She was a collector too.
She appreciated it. She really liked it. But I get a lot of women sending stuff, and then when
it's too much annoyance. It just gets in the way.
When I try to connect, they want me to swipe the credit card, and I go, oh.
That's not the kind of women you want.
Yeah, good.
Sounds like bad news.
Russian women probably.
Yeah, they are Russian,
They're very nice.
I can speak French and Spanish, but no one from those places are on. They're all from Russian. Trying to look for a meal ticket. No, not this guy.
I know deep in my heart that I don't have as much stuff as they do, as these really, these titans of the collecting world. But I do have stuff, and it is my stuff. I kept telling my ex-girlfriend that I'm not hardcore. But, she's seen some of my customers, and she says she's scared. Scared of what, It basically, she doesn't like boxes. And they don't like her. Filming, because if someone sees this down the track,
they'll know where to come.
They'll know, and it's very conceivable someone could get in here at night. Although my bed's just up there, so if they get in there, I'll
Okay.
get Alice onto it. But don't even film the door, please.
Cut.
If you could just
do
that. I can see, and I can feel, I can tell that Joe didn't expect this. I think he thought there would be a lot of girls coming into the shop. And I really don't think he knew there'd be so many men. And also that they had so much to say, that they would have so much to say. He could have had some cheap thrill with girl coming in and maybe going on a few dates, but these men that he's met, this is for life.
It was good, but just the sound a bit at times. Just vary the sound a bit. Went a bit off, went back to normal again. Just played up a bit.
The question that kept coming up to me was, am I going to end up like Adrian? Or will I even end up one day as Andrew? There seemed to be a very real progression, and through making this film I've come to understand what kind of journey I might be headed on and where I might end up. I've also come to think that the world of collecting is very different from what I expected it to be.
Most girls still like the whole thing of a knight on a horse, metaphorically speaking, of their dreams with a big arm to pick them up from their thing. Hey, my darling, I'll do anything for you. You can walk on my face, you can walk on me, step on me, treat me like a little dog.
Treat me like a fool.
I can see it on their faces now. They look at men as like an Adonis that they can do anything they like, stick pins in.
So they're sort of collecting men.
Yes.
I bet. Yes. Whatever they fancy this week.
I pity them, actually, because love is a gift.
Have you ever thought about, has there been a time in your life when you felt like stopping collecting?
Yeah. What for?
So no then?
No way.
No. Yeah.
Oh well.
Sunny day. Enjoy it.
Yeah, will do.
See you, mate.
A button that made you feel good, would you push it? Would you push it? And if you had an itch that did you no good, would you scratch it? Would you scratch it, baby? Open your eyes, drugs never die. Hands on your back.
Oh, man. But it got better as it went along. At the start of the noise, the volume, the sounds bit. But as when halfway trickles out, it got better.
I don't like you sometimes. You make me feel nervous.
Go away. Make it a bit too close.
There, no, you don't. You're a human too.
If you had a love that made you a fool, would you chase it? Would you chase it? And if you had a passion that tore you in two, would you praise it? Would you praise it?
That's where you get some influence here too.
Yeah, well, that's true. No. There's someone behind you.
That was embarrassing. I was kind of thinking Saturday, you know, you pumped up.
Well, the music right now is where we normally start with the classical.
Yeah, that was a bit of a shift for me too.
Oh, okay.
We're all here on this road together. The sad scenes seem to go on forever, on forever.
I think my idea of collection is that sometimes it feels like a job, like you don't have much time left over for anything else. You know, you've been hard at it. You've got that thing you've been looking for, and you spend a lot of time on the collection. It's a tough gig being a collector.
Now, as I get older, I'm starting to appreciate that there's other collectors out there who collect things like porcelain. One fella who collects Barbie dolls from the beginning of, and he's not people naturally thinking G.I. Joes, but they're historical.
And if you had a dream that made you feel mad, would you shake it? Would you tame it, baby?
When he's in England, he goes to an AA meeting on a Monday night in Cranley.
Oh, okay.
With Barbara Buck. They're both alcoholics.
Yeah, they both were, yeah. They did that film together, Caveman.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
okay. And she was there one night, but Ringo was away. I heard them saying, send our love to Richard, Richard Starkey. And they just go as a support mechanism to...
Are they still married?
Yeah, they're still married, and neither of them had to drink for 20 years.
Yeah.
I had to pay this alcoholic in beer to find out where the AA meeting was.
I like Bill Wyman, he just stands there. He always like a 3/4 size bass.
Yeah.
And he just like that, and he's standing there. And I used to wonder, he looks at Charlie Watts and he's looking at Keith Richard and Mick Jagger carrying on, and virtually kissing each other, whatever. You know, to get, they're acting and they're looking at each other going, well, we've been here this long. Might as well stick at it, we're getting a lot of money. But they sort of go look motionless to each other. This is my imagination. Perception of it. They're going.
Yeah. Look at that guy. We've done this, right?